And the point of this film was... Well, you see, there was a point to this film. Oh, yes. The point of this film was making another leading role that would fit Channing Tatum.
Tell me what's going on. Right now.
Who do you want to be, Jeff?
What a bizarre choice. A 2-hour film that is marketed and built to look like a comedy, which isn't really a comedy, featuring a straight white man who just kind of assumes, using his privilege, that he's never going to actually get shot by the cops despite committing so many crimes, so he just continues to commit so many crimes, and then just kind of pretends they're all victimless and that he's still a good, charming guy despite committing so many crimes. It's rare that an entire film's premise can just kind of give you the ick, right? Roofman stars Channing Tatum in the true story of a guy who robbed a bunch of McDonald's stores, went to prison, broke out of prison, started living at a Toys R Us store, and while living there secretly, started dating a woman and getting to know her children, and... what the fuck? So, this film is just bizarre. Channing Tatum is very good at this role. He fits this role like a glove. That's not good enough reason to make it. It was built to look like a kind of kooky Christmas comedy thing, and it's just none of those things, really. It's such a bizarre idea. It really does not... The filmmakers don't quite seem to be able to decide whether they are condoning or they're against this guy's actions, whether they're for or against him as a person. And honestly, you kind of needed to choose. In my mind, if you were going to make this film, they're just trying to present it and be like, this happened. Nuts, right? But it's not saying anything. Yeah, whether they're condoning or damning his actions as a real person who actually did all this stuff, they're just doing it wrong either way. They've made a kind of halfway between sort of thing that challenges you to figure out if he's a good person when it's very clear to me personally that he's not. Like, he just is exactly the kind of, like, everyone knows a kind of person who's so lazy and just glides along through life getting away with shit and acting like they're a good person despite just being the worst kind of person, the most annoying kind of, ugh, I hate you kind of person. If you've met one, you know who that is, okay? And it's just very frustrating to me to make this kind of film where they spend most of the time like showing off, oh, he's so charming and he's doing these nice things for them. And I know that the film isn't, like, exactly saying, oh, he's a good person, despite the things he did, but it kind of, I don't know, just making a film like this where Channing Tatum, with all of his charisma, plays this guy, gives off a very, like, oh, he's so charismatic, and he does all these nice things. He gives the guy the coat before forcing him into the freezer and locking him up there as he points a gun at him. Like, essentially this guy is the criminal version of a Reddit nice guy. You know, he goes around being like, oh yeah, all this happens, and oh, it's so goofy, I'm such a lovable goof. No, I don't deserve bad things to happen to me. The police shouldn't be chasing me because I'm not that bad. No. Ugh. I kind of assumed whichever way this film went, and I expected it to be much more comedy, that it would work. That was bold of me, apparently. Channing Tatum is good at playing this charming but dangerous guy. In fact, as a straight white guy of that kind of age, most of the work he does get now is playing shitty fucks, and this is a shitty fuck. The thing is, I don't know why they wanted to make this film. I guess maybe just so that they could finally have Channing Tatum actually play a guy called Jeff. Never says my name Jeff in it, and spends most of the time pretending his name is John. Dear John. He really does he's the ultimate guy for playing guys with the whitest names imaginable, whatever. So, I feel like they wanted to make it because it is just such an unbelievable true story. It's just such a crazy true story that you're just kind of like, what? That's what happened? Sure, I'll go see that film. Like, it's a better marketable film than it is to watch, in my opinion. I think, like, 2 hours is so long for this idea, especially when, even though I do think this is some of the better work of Channing Tatum's career, I still, personally, and I think most people would agree with me, I don't want to watch a 2-hour drama film starring Channing Tatum. I don't know, it's this wild, crazy thing that lacks any heart or direction. It's very aimless as a film. It very much has nothing to say. They're fully admitting that, the way that they kind of try to leave it all open-ended, and they're like, is this a good guy or not? Like, the film doesn't have anything to actually say or tell you about this story. It's just presenting it and being like, oh, nuts, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay, but I don't know, the charm of it being like, whoa, this guy lives in Toys R Us, runs out after a few minutes. The charm of Channing Tatum doesn't last long enough for a 2-hour film. And there's no individual element of this that really wowed me at all, and I really do not want to rewatch it because I know the direction it's going is just such a kind of icky. All feels icky. The ending feels icky. It's all icky. Yeah. So I'm giving There's a Magical Mike Place 2.5 stars. It just, like, yeah. I hate when films, like, market themselves so specifically because they know that that's going to suck you in, and it's just a blatant lie. This is a blatant lie. This is not a comedy. I can't believe, given the subject material, they managed to make it so much not a comedy.